There, I think we got it. Hopefully I don't mute it.
Is this that one guy stuff?
So, yeah, that was a glorious intro. And hey, there we are.
That we were just enjoying our intro so much.
I
We
think
haven't
we're
seen it in
muted.
2 weeks. Forgot what it looked like.
Yes. How y'all doing tonight? I'm Josh, JRB5. This is
I'm Kevin, and it's just Kevin.
just Kevin. And if you know what time it is, here we are again. It is Art Assault time.
So get all your friends on here.
Get to sharing.
We got a very special guest today.
Sharon's Karen.
Yeah.
Sharon's Karen. Share.
And I'm excited about this guest. I think, like he said, who knows what's going to happen. We could either have a really good show or we might get banned, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be fun either way. Like I say, you can find Kevin and I at our social medias, and this is broadcasting live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, on Talking Beards and Room Green Productions and all that good stuff. But yeah, we decided because last week we took the week off because somebody got hitched. If you don't know,
Wasn't me.
it was
I
me.
didn't do it.
And so, we didn't really have suggestions, and we probably couldn't even remember. We probably did, but we just decided.
I'm trying to remember. I know we had one, but
Yeah.
I'm sure I can't remember what it was.
I remember now. I mean, I don't remember now. It was, but we decided we'd just kind of do one in honor of or inspired by our
Next guest,
our guest coming up
Our
tonight.
guest today.
And so, yeah, I don't know. I did a little prep work on this one. Right there. We got it upside down now. I don't know if you've seen. I think I forgot to load the concept piece, but me and Kevin kind of went back yesterday and came up with the concept of what we wanted to do, and so I kind of prepped it a little bit. It needed a little prep work.
Yeah,
but,
as we do something different every time of how our approach. Sometimes it's just blind approach, and we come up with a melty looking demon fly thing, or sometimes we plan it, but we don't do any.
there's our concept piece.
So it's going to look similar, but not the same, obviously.
Yeah,
So
it's just kind of get the idea down.
But and I really like I have a shirt from Christopher Webster that one of my favorite shirts, where the guy's got a gun in his mouth and he's got the American flag wrapped around his face. And
What's going on, Mr. Glander?
I wear it quite a lot.
Tracy, how you doing tonight?
Tracy's on there again.
Yeah.
Lucas with
Barefoot.
you. Hi, Lucas.
So yeah, you want to? I guess. Well, let's get our formalities out of the way. Orozco's hot sauce. He was probably having band practice today, so I don't know.
Are they trying out a new drummer? Because they need to.
Yeah, I don't know if they haven't. I don't know how the drummer search is going,
Yeah.
but then Big Sexy's beard brand, hit both of them up. The links down there has got their information. Again, the Big Sexy's working frivolously to get a website going up, but it's been a painstaking.
Do you still got some of that beard's oil stuff?
Oh yeah, I could hold bag full of it. It's not his. So.
Huh?
Lucas says hi. Hi, Lucas. And
What are you clicking on? He's just clicking buttons like
trying to get back everything
right. There's
together.
not a big red one. We'd probably cause World War III.
Boom, boom,
Boom.
boom.
Let's end it now.
Down there, like I said, that's where you can find all of our prints. We got prints. I haven't got them all updated. We're slacking on a few. And like I said, the originals are still here. I think we're just going to do a show and try to sell them at a show. Just, I mean, the attention, the nobody has really, like, hey, I need that.
Yeah,
so
it's hard over at sales anyway. Believe me, it sells when it sells, and we'll do a couple of shows here and there, stuff like that. If you've seen any of our past stuff, go to the site. Heck, just throw a price out there. We'll either say yes or no as far as I'm concerned.
roomgreenproductions.com. That's where we've got the list or at least the link to get to all the shows on our YouTube page, and got all the artwork that I do got posted. The prints are available on there.
Right. So if you can't afford to do the original, the prints are going to be fairly handy and cost, because I've done that with some of my favorite local artists where I just can't afford their stuff, but they'll make a print and I go, boom, I got one until I can.
Oh yeah.
Until I can afford the
original.
The original, yeah. But it's tough sometimes because it's not like, that's why we have prints, and so at least you can have something similar. And you know what? Don't go to Walmart and buy those Spider-Man posters. Buy them from us or locals. You don't have to buy from us necessarily, although we'd like it.
Bill Robinson on YouTube. What's going on? Screw box stores. Buy your art from living artists.
Yeah, we got so many of them here in Wichita, and even this next artist we're talking to here, he's not from here. Originally from Nebraska. Where's he at in Arizona?
Lansing, Michigan.
Michigan. Okay.
Michigan for sure.
So get a hold of him, and he's one of my favorite ones. He's one of the few that I will go anytime, anywhere when he's in Wichita, that is, and go see him play. So
he's been to Wichita a few times.
Now my band's going to be covering one of his songs. He promised sexual favors for one of the songs. I'm not that desperate. Not yet, anyway.
All right, we're gonna get banned before we even get him on here, Kevin. Jeez Louise.
Should I get started then?
Get started there. Let's see what that's great. But yeah, it's wedding was really, really great. Had a lot of beardos come into town. Want to say thanks to all those. Kevin came out and partied. He partied hard. He got kind of cornered by Spinny Marie.
Oh, the fellow captain's
yes. And she was talking his ear off. Everybody had a blast. Everybody made it home safe.
Sweetheart, though.
Oh yeah. Like I say, she drove all night, so that night she had to deal with everybody else's drunk ass, and that night she cut loose.
I think she was just
What's going on, Tyler Hill? That's yeah, hey, remember, sharing is caring. Share the song gun. Share it with everybody. People you don't think would like our weird art, share it anyhow. Kevin's getting started back there. Ooh, that's looking drippy. Drippy.
That's not dripping yet, but well. I learned one thing. I get a little spritz bottle now. That tends to work.
Does it?
Yeah.
Instead of just watering it super down.
And then you just have it set on mist. Really helps. That's that one clown I did. That's all drippy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I did on that one. This one here, I'll put down the thick base and then start adding water.
Yeah, last night I was on Big Sexy's show last night.
Oops, I think I messed the circle up. I didn't realize you were going over that.
Yeah, make it bigger.
Oh, well, I'll make it wider.
Yeah, make it wider.
A long ways to go.
Yeah. But dropped the new Tees for Charity shirt. A lot of big stuff going on in Big Sexy land over there too. But I'm running a little behind, of course. I did have a lot of stuff going on, so the February shirts aren't quite done and shipped out yet. But there's the March shirts, and the February shirts are planning on this week. But
I just figured since you're newly married, you'd be too tired.
I didn't do much. The kid had spring break this week, so I just kind of eased back into it. But that's live on the link too. And we didn't have a sponsor. Our sponsor had some stuff come up. The Snowpocalypse a couple months ago got him in a bad way. So, stuff happens. It happens. So,
Our Snowpocalypse?
Well, he's out of state, but
Did it hit them too?
Yeah, it hit him too, and so they had stuff and he couldn't do it, and that's understandable. But last night, Mr. Brandon Waltz stepped up, and he's handling the sponsorship and gonna figure out. He's gonna come up with a charity. He's been doing a lot of good work on TikTok, so a lot of charity work, getting stuff raised up for great charities over there, and he's always been a big advocate of Room Green Productions. He's the head of the Room Green Street team, so he's always plugging stuff on
I didn't know you had a street team.
TikTok. Yeah, I got a little page started, but it's
Good time.
it's not very active. Brandon's the only one that really gets out there and gets dirty doing it, but I appreciate it. Much love.
Somewhere.
So like I say, he's gonna come up with something, some charity, some worthy charity, and it will be fabulous. I know it will. Thank you, Bill. Say that's a charity shirt. I'm gonna run it for two weeks, so I haven't figured out what the day it actually ends, but I'm gonna run it for 2 weeks, and then Mr. Brandon Waltz is gonna figure out who's gonna get the money, the proceeds from the shirt. And I know he's lined up the deal with the Bully Ranch for May, so they're our sponsor, our charity for May. Excuse me. But and then I've got 3 commissions going right now. They are okay. You did hit the timer over here. Good job, Kevin. You're on it.
This time I won't turn it off on you. Just let you go for 20
Yeah.
minutes.
I got
I did that.
I got 3 commissions rolling. I've brought back the cool kids because as soon as I shut down the cool kids, I had everybody and their dog hit me up, and of course, only 2 or 3 people hit me up. Mr. Brandon Waltz hit me up for a second one because he recently changed facial hairstyles. He shaved off his mustache, and he's a whaler, so we got to update it. And then I brought the Zombie Freak Show back for Don't Lose Your Head, kind of a heads in a jar. I've got a commission for 4 heads in a jar. And so, well, the gal hit me up and was like, I got 4 kids. Can you all put them in one jar? And I'm like, well, I don't, if you've seen my jars, Kevin, my jars are little. And I'm like, well,
fish tank like I did
that's what I said. I go, thank you, Kevin. I'm doing fish tanks, and I can do 2 to 4 characters in a fish tank. So thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
A little inspiration from a piece that he did for me.
I stole that from Walking Dead.
I know, but hey, it's not stealing. It's paying homage to respectfully. But not that I get tired of drawing all y'all bearded and weirdos and all that. But I got the Wicked Rides, which I just wanted to draw vehicles, and so I've got a few lined up on that. None of them have quite had the success of the Cool Kids Series 1, but I have some big things coming up. I keeping them pretty close to my chest right now, so you guys will know what it is when you know what it is. What's going on, Scott? Hope everything's going good in your way. Yeah, Mr. Tyler Hill is one of them. That is for sure. Thank you again, sir, for your support. Let's blow this up and see what Kevin's got going. It's looking
Your paper's coming up a little bit
drippy.
Okay.
Oh, that just gives it character. We like character here. Yeah, that's kind of been a slow week. The kid was on spring break. We went and did some little spring break adventures and went out to a nature center. Looking for signs of spring. We found a few trees budding, and I brought home a few ticks, so that's a good sign of spring, I guess, that I don't like. One of them wasn't in me. The second one was in me, and my armpit was itching for 3 days. It finally.
You had to kill them all.
Yeah, I wish. What's it say at the bottom? The bottom of what? The thing.
Poster thing? It's upside down right now.
Oh yeah, it's upside down, but it says "We the People." We're running the drips run upside down because what's more punk than drips running upside down? Come on now. But we're gonna flip it over once we take a little intermission to let this dry. I got the blow dryer back there locked and loaded. What's up, Cajun? Brains, I did not see what you said. I was reading that. What did you say? Inspiration for next week's bearded clam diver fighting the Kraken. You're killing me.
Why do I gotta get so detailed?
Oh, I know.
Too many things going on. We only got an hour, guys.
Yep. I just got a beep in my ear, so our guest is in the studio. Yeah, it's gonna get wild.
Well, I'll do my part and then we'll get him on.
Got a minute and 23 seconds before we change driver's seat. Again, this is kind of our concept art. What we actually paint may not look anything like this, but this is what me and Kevin kind of sat down and
discussed it a little bit.
Discussed and prepared. And like I said, I prepared the canvas a little bit, just other than white, and because it would be a lot to do in an hour, all of that. It took just mixing the dang.
And the way people are getting really more complicated on us, it's making it a little tougher to do in an hour.
Well, like I said, we may not take your suggestions anymore. We may tell you where to shove them suggestions. We're gonna take a little more freedoms on.
Just take their suggestions and ignore
them. Yeah, we won't shove them. We'll just ignore them. But we're gonna try to do something different, and we're just rolling with the punches, trying to keep y'all entertained and give you something worth spending an hour watching.
And like I said before, if you happen to see a piece from the past you like, just go on there, and if you like it, throw us a price.
We're making that a peace sign, aren't you?
Huh?
Are you gonna make it a peace sign?
Is it a peace sign?
Yeah, it's upside down peace sign.
Where does the peace sign go? I'd have to do it upside down, so it'd be here, right?
No, do it normal, and then when we flip it over, it'll be upside down.
So it's here.
Here, we can change.
Yeah, show me the peace sign. I don't remember the peace sign. I'm a freaking retired military. We don't talk about peace.
Well, we'll stop that for a minute. We'll go ahead and get Chris on here. Like I say, here is our guest. Got some new music, so we're gonna bring him on. Bam. What's going on, man?
Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, I hear you just fine.
Nice. Woke up a little bit.
Good.
Decided to sit outside and enjoy the birds.
It is gorgeous here in Grand Rapids, Michigan today. Actually, it's.
I think it's everywhere after a nasty storm we had a couple weeks ago, and today was really nice. A little bit on the windy side, but other than that, it was nice.
I miss those Midwestern fucking spring snowstorms. Those are the best.
They're always the coldest ones too. You ever notice that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Getting that snow apocalypse up there last month or?
Well, we're like this area that we're in. It's called the snow belt, and we get that lake effect snow because we're about 45 minutes from Lake Michigan.
You get all those lakes.
So
Don't you
yeah,
have like 100 of them around you or something.
It's like there's some statistic that there's no spot in Michigan that you can be that you're not like 8 miles. You're not from a fucking large body of water or some shit. There's lots of fresh water up here. Can't seem to get Flint fresh water, but to this day, you can sell it to Nestle, by God, but they can't seem to get that. Can't seem to get that city figured out.
Yeah. So, big news. You got a new, I guess it's an EP that you're going to have coming out.
It's out.
You dropped it already. I was jamming to it yesterday during some of my artwork that I was working on.
Cool.
So tell us about it. Ins and outs and all the heartache.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're tired now because of it.
No, yeah. Well, this is, like I said, it's the first day off. It just occurred to me this morning when we woke up. Me and the old lady were here, and we rarely get a day off together because she works a couple different jobs, and I work my my illustrious part-time gas station job, and fucking you know, like I say, between that and working on this shit, always it's fucking nonstop doing something. So today I was actually the first day, as I said to her, I go, it's the first day we've had just off in forever, you know. So yeah, this particular this EP here was the idea behind it. Me and Johnny Lindell, who drums on it, he was the one that we'd talked about this for a couple years, saying, you know, we should just do, you know, an old school punk rock EP, you know, just, and this is modeled sound wise, especially. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you're familiar with the fucking Nervous Breakdown EP from 1978 from Black Flag.
Oh yeah,
that yeah, I'm sure you guys all listened to that a million times too. And that was one that in particular was sound wise is kind of the vision I always wanted. And we talked about doing this, you know, just busting out some 6, you know, hardcore type songs. And we'd done it for a while. And to be quite honest, prior to the pandemic, the last album that we got done in 2018 was Preach God Damn It. And that was basically almost a 20-year mark of me coming from my band to my solo shit and everything. And that was this big, kind of like the opus, like the melding of the two styles, and you know, all where I'd come and everything else, and that was like supposed to be the kind of the big album. Well, there was so much shit going on at the time, and it was a really fucked up time period, and leading up to that was a pretty fucked up time period just because of things had gone on. And you know, when you say that, you know, anytime you make any kind of subversive material nowadays, you're an easy fucking target, and I'm about the easiest target there is when it comes to things. And to be quite honest, I thought that was it before the pandemic. And I was like, I'm fucking about done with this shit. I'm tired of touring because I'm sick of fucking dealing with the nonsense. I'm dealing with people's bullshit. And so I didn't even know if we were going to record again. I mean, I was always going to make music. You guys, you know, you're creative people. You know, we're always going to play music, or we're always going to write.
You can never, even when you stop, you don't stop, you know. It's like,
no, you don't. And there shouldn't be. I mean, I think that's, you know, when you guys are sitting there, you know, you guys are doing your shit right now, you're not doing it because I'm like, oh, I'm doing this to become famous or make money or whatever. We're doing it because we do it, you know.
Yeah.
It's who we are. And the writing shit that I've always done, and I mean, I write every fucking day. I'm, like I said, I always tell people I'm much less a vocalist, not a singer, you know, barely a vocalist. And I don't consider myself to be much of a musician at all. And I'm not a musician. I play guitar or whatever to make the songs I want to make. But if I consider myself to be anything, as a writer, and I write every single day. I write something. Some days I write a lot. Some days don't write that much. But every fucking day, I'm writing. And I was like, you know, I'm always going to be able to write songs. I'll always be able to play some music. And I frankly don't give a fuck about the rest of the bullshit, you know. And I was kind of to that point. Well, the pandemic hit, and it was actually pretty cool for me because I spent so much time, or had spent so much time in the last few years, having to fucking have all these big fucking epic battles about, you know, the lyrics I was writing or the messages behind songs and shit. And I was like, this is fucking stupid, man. This is not why I got into this shit. And plus, I'm like, I'm not justifying myself to these cocksuckers. I never have. I never will. But they're getting in the way so much that this is getting to be not fun anymore. And the point was getting missed. And so I was like, you know, I was honestly just kind of like, I'm just going to probably slowly phase out of this shit. That being said, now granted, that last summer, me and Johnny had a tour that we were booking together. We already had about a month done, all the way through, you know, starting in Michigan, all the way fucking down the east coast of Florida, all the way up to New York, back to fucking through the, you know, so we were still going to go on tour and shit. Well, that kind of got knocked out. That did get knocked out. Everything fucking got canceled. We all know that. And, so anyway, during the pandemic, I was listening to some old school thrash shit, you know, I was working doing a carpet job under the table because Casey, the old lady, she actually got COVID in July, and so I was actually quarantined down, but I could go to these places where there was nobody inhabited and fucking do these carpet jobs by myself pretty much. Me and the guy that I was working for, and we'd do that, and we were listening to he liked metal and shit. I'm like, well, let's listen to some old school shit. So we'd listen to some old, DRI, so he's like, and some old Exploited or some old Dead Kennedys, the punk rock shit that I'm more into. And I was like, man, why in the fuck? These guys had so much to say, and they said it in such a cool way, in a sarcastic, funny way, but talking about very serious shit. And I'm like, why is somebody not fucking doing this? And I was like, fuck, we should do this, And in about that time, a young man who unfortunately we lost in August, he was only 21 years old. He was wanting to start to play hardcore, so we started talking about that together. I also knew that he was in some pretty serious trouble, and I thought maybe if we started working together on a project, that might give him something to look forward to. And unfortunately, in August, we lost him. And then shortly after that, in October, I had a friend who spent all night talking to him on the phone. I did that night, about some different stuff, and he was struggling with some things. And I lost him that night too. So within, less than 2 months, I lost two very dear friends. And, and both of these guys were ones who they were, one was more into the music side of the hardcore shit. The other one was wanting to become a writer and write books and stuff. And I said, dude, if I can fucking do this, fucking anybody can, and anybody should be able to, And so talking to those guys to collaborate on a project, that was a big deal with this. And when I lost both of them, me and Johnny, God bless his heart, I said, I want to do a memorial for my buddy Jesse who died. Well, that happened in, like I said, that was in the middle of October. October 30th, we did a benefit show for Jesse High Rail down there in Kansas City. Well, Johnny, the drummer, my buddy, very dear friend who drums for this band, he drove from Billings, Montana, all the way to Kansas City, Missouri, just to meet me to play this show, and which is pretty cool.
He does that all the time, doesn't he?
He drives
like half the country. Because like Wichita show, that Wichita show you did in the middle of the week, I don't know if you knew that or not, but my dad literally just died like a week before that.
Yeah, I remember talking about that, man. Yeah, totally.
And
yeah,
so you coming in like that just meant a lot to me. So
fuck yeah, bro. That's I forgot. That's fantastic to hear, man. I forgot about that. That's shit like that. Literally, that kind of shit's the stuff that keeps us going, And
right.
But he, Johnny didn't even know Jesse, but he's the kind of friend. He said, this meant something to you, so I fucking did it. So he drove. That's like a 22-hour drive, man.
That's pretty dedicated too. Then it's really awesome that you have a drummer that's willing to do that for you. That probably makes it. And he plays in like several other bands too on top of that. So
yes, he's got a band called the Foilies. If you guys have not heard, so if anybody watching or listening to this, please go check out that band.
Yeah, I was so broke that day, and he had some stuff, and I just couldn't afford to buy anything from him. So I'll have to get something from him.
If you'd asked Johnny, he'd have gave it to you. Trust me, you should just asked him. he's
that talking about. Yeah, well, wait, he might have gave me a CD. Now I think about it, I don't remember. My collection is like hundreds of thousands, so half the stuff I don't even open anymore. It's just all about the memories of seeing people play and stuff.
Yeah, that's the truth there. Yeah, well, that's what he does, and in the meantime, why he did that for that show. His cousin Luke, who him and Luke played forever in this band called the Deadnecks, which was kind of that amorphous of the very old school country and the old school punk rock thing. They'd done that for years in Montana. Well, Luke had moved away years ago to Nashville. He now works for Gibson down there in Memphis, or no, Nashville rather. I'm sorry, Savoy Street. Sorry, but Luke works for Gibson down there in Nashville, and he'd hit me up because the kid that died that we're doing the memorial show for, he was also good friends with him, and he said, I've always wanted to play with with you guys, and are you doing the show? And what, and I said, fuck yes. So he's, I pretty much, he didn't even get the sentence out of his mouth. I knew where he was going with it. I'm like, let's fucking do this, And Luke came up there and literally we practiced one day before that show. And as we were talking that day, we were like, we've had this fucking EP thing in mind. It'd be cool if we could just get together and do it. And, Luke was there and Johnny was there. And they're like, well, we're off the next week. Maybe we should just do this and then drive up to fucking Michigan. I was like, are you serious? You guys really want to do that? And they're like, yeah. So we kind of kicked the idea around. I hit the kid up here, Trevor, up in Grand Rapids. And we played that show on the 30th of October and hung around and had some fun. The next day was Halloween. So we hung around Kansas City. And then the next day we drove 12 hours up to here. And the idea was to do this on the fly, and we fucking certainly did, which is something I'm very proud of these guys. I would say this project is so much less me and so much more everybody around it. So those guys drove up 12 hours. I had a notebook with some ideas in it, but we had no songs. We barely had lyrics, barely had song titles. And in under 3 days, we fucking set up the mics and wrote and recorded that thing in under 3 days. So I'm pretty damn proud of it, man.
Yeah, that's a great album. I've been listening to it for the last 2 or 3 days. Well, since what dropped on Thursday, whatever. It's all a blur to me.
Yeah.
Well, where can we find your books? Kevin says you wrote a couple books, and you mentioned that up there.
Yeah. Well, they were on Amazon. I don't know if they're still up there right now. I don't particularly own any physical copies myself. But they were up on Amazon. I know one, I think it's suspended right now because of the fucking format or some shit, but say what there? Oh yeah. If anybody is watching this and you want the PDFs, fuck it. You can hit me up directly and we'll send you the PDFs. We'll email you the PDFs or whatever you want. So if anybody hits me up any direction, if you guys can't find them, fuck it. I don't give a flying fuck about the money, obviously. I'd rather have people read the shit. But yeah, I wrote one I finished one in 2015. Yeah, and then I finished another one. Yeah, is that the Relentless Pursuit one? The black cover?
Yeah, a lot of like lyrics and stuff in it. And then
yes. Yeah, that's
fucking it's
that's
cool,
all I do, I guess.
It motivated me because now I'm writing something similar. So yeah, I'm still in.
Sweet. That's fucking fantastic. I love hearing that. That's to me the coolest thing to hear is if you guys are artists yourself. You inspire anybody else to do something. That's to me that's the highest damn compliment there is.
Yeah.
But no. Well, that one in particular, that the first one that book was called Letters from the Relentless Pursuit, and it was done in 2015. But that one started as a lyric book because when my mom died. She was always like, I like your lyrics. Let me preface there a little addendum on that, or whatever the fuck it would be, footnote. She liked some of the lyrics.
Like my mom.
Some she really didn't like. but no, she wanted she always said I should do a songbook, and when she died, that motivated me to actually do it. In her memory, what ended up happening with the shit around that you're talking about, Kevin. The little fucking essay type things were things that I had stored. Obviously I've been displaced and moved around the fucking country and toured and shit. I'd always just I'd email ideas to myself. So I went through like fucking 20 years worth of ideas and I'd piece them together with the time period in which these lyrics were written. So the handwritten lyrics that was a fucking task putting that book together because I had to go back to the country. Well, I had my brother mail me some shit. I found some stuff. At that point in time, I was living in St. Louis, but back in Lincoln, Nebraska, where I'm from, I had all these fucking old notebooks, and I had some with me. And some of the lyrics, the scribbles you see, are from literally the first one. There's a song called "What's It Mean to You," and that song I wrote when I was 12 fucking years old. And so you had just years and years of these scribbles and fucking chicken scratch fucking lyrics, and then I just pair it together with something I was writing at that time to kind of preface where it's from. So that book it's pretty cool in that sense, and it does it in a linear time frame. It starts, with my first fucking song, and then it goes, talks about the band shit that I was in for 10 some years, and then the final chapter of that book, and you guys can look it up if you don't have it, on fucking YouTube. I actually did a spoken word of that one, and the last chapter of that is called "Fuck Them," and literally this was before the whole call out culture and fucking cancel culture went so fucking out of control, but I seen which direction it was going. And it was literally about that type of shit. It was also about conservative Nebraska. It was also about just people basically getting in the way of what we do, and everybody trying to tell me what my lyrics mean and what my songs mean and who I am and shit. And I was like, fuck you, fuck them, fuck all of them. So that's how that book kind of crescendos into this fucking quagmire of rage at the end of that book. So,
well, I'm definitely going to be checking them out. If I can't find them, I'm going to try to get you some money, obviously. And is the album for sale anywhere? Where's it for sale at?
I don't know. I think it's for sale on some platforms. We were lucky enough to do this through Rusty Knuckles, and Ralph put all that shit up there. Let's put it this way: if you can listen to it for free, listen to it for free. I'd rather have anybody listen to our shit than have it for any amount of money. I think that through the streaming services, you can pay to do it or whatever. But let's put it this way: if you guys don't have to pay, don't fucking pay. You know what I mean? I'd much rather have people have the shit and have it in their ears, or have it or be reading it than to get any kind of money off it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, it's still nice to have a little money come your way, though.
No, well, especially coming up here, I don't know what we're gonna do, honestly, because August 7th or April 7th is my first. I'm having a series of 3 surgeries coming up here that I've been putting off for a lot of years. I just turned 40, and 20 years have caught up to me, and so fucking caught up a long time ago. I just kept going.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had to cancel a tour a few years ago. So I was all set, ready for you. I made sure, and then you ended up in the hospital. I was like, no.
Yeah, that was the time. That was half. We only canceled half of it. They wanted me to cancel all of it, but I got out of the hospital. I was like, well, I can still salvage some of it. We still actually ended up having pretty decent. It was still a pretty decent tour, but I didn't get out as far west as I was going to get out. But yeah, that was 3 days in the hospital then. So it's I always tell people that's what kind of like the relentless pursuit, and is just fucking at all costs fucking moving forward, and no matter how much it took and no matter what it took from you, just keeping going, and I always tell people, if you're doing this for any kind of financial ideas, or you're doing this for any regards to your health or your sanity or your home life, don't fucking do this. Don't. Because it's going to ruin everything in that regard. But like I told that surgeon the other day, he's like, you're only 40, and I'm having this fusion on my neck, and then I'm having back surgery, and then I'm having my fucking rotator cuff done. And he's like, and both these surgeons, they're like, you're only 40, they go, you must have been a hard life. I'm like, well, I wouldn't say that. It's a well-lived in life.
Yeah.
It's been a great life. It's been an amazing life. Yeah. I mean, I said I'm a well-lived in 40, and right, exactly. And there's some quote say, I don't know, some fucking cheeseball kind of fucking, almost like one of those stupid inspirational type quotes, where it's like, oh, I'd rather, instead of a well preserved body, I'd rather skid into the grave saying fucking what a hell of a ride. I'm paraphrasing this, but anyway, you get the idea.
We all know what you're talking about. Kind of ride and die. I'm surprised I've made it to 56 after everything I've been through in my life.
Oh yeah.
It gets to the point it's harder to get up every day. It's harder to even paint. It's just like, sometimes when I do 5 or 6 pieces in one day, because I got commissions and stuff that I got to deal with. And a lot of people are always like, well, you're selling too cheap. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm selling for what I can afford.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put a $3,000 piece up there. I'll sell it for 30.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Enough to buy more paint.
Right.
And, more shit to paint on. Hell, I'll paint on anything that moves, so I don't care.
Or doesn't move, or keeps moving. Yeah, I'm always. I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm always flattered if anybody. Like, once again, I didn't even tell you guys this, but thanks a lot for taking you guys' time to help us promote this shit. And I was looking at you guys. I know, fuck Kevin. Me and Kevin been friends now for what, half a decade or so.
Right after I retired, you came up to me, believe it or not, I was suffering some PTSD really bad back then, and just retired, just got done with 3 tours of combat, and you came up to me out of the blue and just started talking to me while I was taking photos. And I used to hide behind the camera. Not talk to anybody. I'm an outgoing person before that, but after 3 tours of combat, I came back and it was just everywhere I looked, I was just like, what? And then you just came up and started talking to me. So
I do remember that, because I think I remember you had some of the band's patch on you or something that I was like, oh yeah, well, and like the thing is, I mean, doing this shit, like I said, I mean, I think being artists, we all suffer from that weird fucking neuroses, that we're we all struggle with our self-confidence and everything else. And people, when I get to these shows and play, that's one thing that Johnny said, because he's, I guess he'd be described as very introverted. But and the thing is, I think people see somebody like myself in public, they're like, oh, you're so extroverted. It's really not the case. I kind of have to force myself to be. But the way I figure it is, if anybody's taken an hour or 2 hours or the evening to come watch us fucking play, fucking A, man, I feel that we owe them a good show. I feel that it's cool to get to know these folks. And
that show definitely, it was one of those Black Eyed Vermilion, Whiskey Dick, you, and so you guys did that acoustic thing at the end. That would have been see, that's interesting.
That was Whiskey Hooves. That was that band. It's funny because that band, the lead singer Phil, actually plays in Johnny's other band, the Foilies. I know this is pretty confusing to anybody listening. 6 degrees of separation here, but
yeah, I get it. It's amazing. I saw, God, who was it? Some hillbilly country band came through, and the guy was playing the upright bass. And like a month before that, I saw him in a doom band playing the cello in this doom band. It was so awesome. And I was like, dude, you changed your clothes. And we're like trying to figure out who he was. And I played a house show here with this such and such band. And he had an upright bass, and there was a lady that had a cello, and it was all doom plus a guitar and drums. And it was like, oh my, it was the eeriest crap. And they didn't have anything recorded. The eeriest doom I ever heard, man. I was just like, oh my awesome. God, because the low end was just so low with that. And I was like, oh my God.
That sounds cool. Damn, if you find the name of that, let me know. I'd like to hear that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, man. I can figure it out by getting the one band, and then but yeah, he's like, oh, I'm on like 6 bands, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, how do you play in 6 bands, man? I can barely.
There's a lot of people that do that shit. Yeah, that show. That's funny. Okay. So if that's when we met, that'd have been the Lizard Lounge in 2014. Then Black Eyed Vermilion, Whiskey Dick, Whiskey Hooves, us on the way out to Form Fest number 3. And that's funny because that'd have been 2014. That was the first time I got really fucking sick. My liver started going out, and I was really sick on that run myself. So. Interesting. That's been Jesus Christ. That's 2000. Was that 6 years ago? Hell yeah.
7 years now. I mean, we're in 2000.
7 years. Wow. wow.
Yeah, a lot of people that consider you friends told me to say hi.
Yeah.
I told every one of those motherfuckers. I told every one of them to get their ass on here, and none of them are on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So I'm not going to say hi for them.
Yeah. Yeah, Wichita, I mean, growing up in Lincoln, and, Wichita's not terribly far away. Kansas City was definitely more of like shit. Over the years, I've definitely played more shows in Kansas City than we have in Lincoln. For about a year and a half, my band was fucking blackballed from Lincoln and Omaha. Like literally almost 2 years, we could not play. So
I wonder why.
Things happen. You you got to break a few eggs and make an omelet, But yeah, we spent a lot more time. That was pre-internet and shit, just playing Kansas City, Des Moines. And then we started getting a foothold in Kearney, Nebraska. Believe it or not, Kearney, Nebraska that's a fucking really, I don't know so much anymore because some management's changed and some different venues. And I always say, you do this long enough, all the people that used to listen to you, a few things happen. Either we're the minority guys. You guys know that the old fuckers like us who keep playing and keep creating and keep painting and keep writing. A lot of times people just become too adult for it, I guess.
Families take over, and but what I'm seeing when that family gets older, like my son. I was out of it for a while. Well, a lot of it was military, and then as I got older, all of a sudden he can go to these same. He's be able to go to all these same shows that I was going to. Here he is sitting with me at these shows, and now he's doing he lives in Seattle now, and he's doing some kind of post-punk. I don't know what he's recording it, but he won't play for it. He won't play for anybody but me and my ex-wife. And so he'll send us the recordings, and I'm just like, man, this stuff I like it. He's just
sweet.
He just won't play for anybody though. And that's fine. I'm like,
yeah,
it doesn't matter. You can play for your family, you can play for the nation, you can play for the world. The talent is all the same. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people think fame is talent, and it's not.
Yeah, I always tell some people that they try to use that argument on shit like our stuff or a million other bands. I like for instance, like say Johnny's new band is pretty new, and I'm doing everything I can to push a band like that, or there'll be great band. I can think of a fucking million of them, as can you, that no one's ever heard of, and they'll try to minimize what we've done by like, well, no, you're not
signed, you're not on the radio.
Right. And
but then you look at all those bands from back in the day that weren't on and look how big they are now. Judas Priest was never on the radio. Iron Maiden was never on the radio. Black Sabbath was never on the radio. All those bands that we all loved and grew up. I can go on and on and on. And now look where they're at. But look at all those pop bands that were getting all the radio time. Where the hell are they?
Well, beyond that, I'm saying if commercial success, I was like, well, by that equation, then that means that fucking Nickelback is the best shit there is, right? I mean, if you or fucking Fred Durst must be a hell of a fucking poet, you know what I mean? I'm always like, that's.
Well, to give credit, I really like Nickelback's first album. The only problem is they're still playing their first album, even though they're on their second, third, fourth, and fifth album. It's all the same music. It's like, well, dude, you didn't change up anything,
Well, to each their own, Kevin. I mean, that's but I just the idea that fucking that commercial success or popularity equals quality of what you're putting out is a fucking biggest fallacy I've ever heard, and some people like to stick to that. And that's fine.
Yeah, it's really. How many albums do you have out?
Well, written and recorded, there are 3 albums. My band, the way I got the stupid fucking nickname of the Saint Chris thing, which I hate, by the way, but
you don't like being called Saint Christopher? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't. I never have. No, that was never supposed to happen. But the
ones you know how that works. The ones you don't like are the ones that you end up with. So
totally, yeah. I think it was obviously there's a little bit of irony there with the name, and that came from back in 1997, clear back then, in a farmhouse in Nebraska. My older brother Ben Webster, me and him, we formed the band that became the motherfucking Saints, and 3 of those albums are on Spotify. So if you guys haven't looked that up, there's a band. Yeah, that was my initial band, the motherfucking Saints. Motherfucking with a apostrophe in. If you would spell it, if it has trouble getting up on the browser, but yeah. Does he?
Yep.
I was hoping that he would fucking chime. I told him to chime in. I told him to. I
Yeah.
told him I told him earlier in this week because I sent him the EP, and I was like, dude, some of your Wichita boys, we're gonna be talking on Sunday. I said, get up in there.
Me to treat you right, and I said, I've known him for about 6-7 years now.
Yeah.
What's right? I mean, that's really, treat him like a man should. But no,
that means.
I'll show you. But let me show you. No, they it's easier to show you than to explain. Fucking no, like the motherfucking Saints shit, that's up. And then this would be under the Saint Christopher Webster name. It's all listed like that, and that was because of legal shit. But and then it just again, I just have to stick with it. But if you know, whatever. This would be the 5th release, and we've got one other bootleg that we acquired from Kansas City back in like 2014. So there's actually a live bootleg too, but this is the 5th release of that's up on there. I did a couple demos and shit that are not up on Spotify or YouTube or whatever. But yeah, I mean this act started in 2008.
Yeah, you've been doing it a while. I was looking at the Spotify, and like I said, I like the old acoustic stuff. And I know you'd. Did you want to play something? I mean, like I said, we got about 10 minutes left here. The hour. We try to keep it at an hour. No one's on behind us, and so I mean we can go.
That's all right. Not today.
Yeah, that's all good. That's all good.
You know, honest to God, I hate to admit this, guys, and this is part of the surgery shit. I was talking to my friend Richard in North Carolina about this, and I also talked to my buddy Skip here. And one of the reasons that I'll do the shit, so people know what's up, because I'm gonna be out of commission for months and months coming up. Just so they know we're not fucking quitting by no means. It's just I gotta recover from some major surgeries.
Yeah.
The funny thing with the rotator cuff thing that I got going on, Rev from Whiskey Dick had 2 of the exact same surgeries, the same back surgery that I got coming up, and the same rotator cuff surgery. And just like you guys, when it comes to whatever medium of creativity you do, none of us were like trained. None of us were taught how to do it, and you just start playing. And the thing about playing guitar incorrectly, as long as I have, that's really fucked my shoulder up. Yeah. So it's a humbling thing to admit right to you right now, but to be quite honest with you, I fucking can't really play guitar right now, which really fucking sucks. But I mean, if I had to, I'd get enough medication of different sorts inside me. I've had to do that, like when we played that show in October. I had to get pretty lubed up to do that one. But yeah, it fucking hurts to fucking do anything right now with my goddamn with this fucking shoulder right now. So yeah, it's actually really physically hard to play, which is, like I said, I was telling these guys, it's kind of an embarrassing thing to admit, but at the same time, like I told them, like my favorite versions of Johnny Cash or John Prine were not the young, successful, popular versions of those guys. It was the old, fucking grizzled, fucking road warrior, motherfucker,
road hard, put away wet,
who kept going. Yeah. Right.
My favorite. I just did a Johnny Cash painting a couple of weeks ago. And it was one where he's sitting, looking, smoking a cigarette and kind of just staring off. And that's one of my favorite pictures. My first favorite picture is the one where he's in the bushes eating fucking cake. And you may be high, but you'll never be Johnny Cash eating cake in the bushes high. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's so funny. Me and my buddy, Johnny.
Somebody's calling you out here.
We were just.
Somebody's calling you out here. Zach, I'm going to butcher his last name. Kalisic. I butchered it. He's lying. The surgery is to fix his prolapse anus. So, yeah, the truth is out. The truth is out. You heard it here first. Can you see what Kevin's got going on back there? What he's working on right now?
Wow. Yeah.
Can you
Old
Can you see
Zach.
that? Yeah. But yeah, I think we'll let you get back to your evening, get a little rest and recover. You know, get prepared for whatever you got going on next week.
Yeah.
You planning on making a tour after you recover, getting out and getting down to Wichita?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you know, kid.
Uh oh, we lost him.
Did we?
We lost him. See if he'll pop back on here. But that was Chris Webber, as he likes to be called.
Yeah.
And you can find his stuff going down there below. All the social medias. Like I said, I've been bumping Spotify. And have a great night, Don Shea. Thank you. So, yeah, we'll see if he pops back on. Give him a few minutes, see what Kevin's... we're not getting this one done nearly as fast as we...
even though we cheated.
Even though we cheated,
Not
but...
really cheating, but
We'll have to finish it up.
Slower, man. I don't know what the heck's going on. I think we want to make the next... I think it's going to come out pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty... it's coming out.
Yeah, I'm putting lines on, but not like I normally do.
Well, there's lines in the sketch, Kevin. I gave you your lines. I thought maybe we could do them in Sharpie, but...
Why? Don't need to. Look at that.
Don't need to.
I like the fact that I'm just using whatever color I got.
But, yeah, that's coming out pretty good. If anybody wants to make an offer, make an offer. It's kind of how we're going to operate until further notice, I think. Get a show set up maybe with whatever we haven't got sold. And
just be aware you make an offer, we got to ship it to you.
Shipping will be not included into the offer price.
Big pieces are not.
No, it could get up to upwards of $100 for that piece back there. Or you drive your happy ass to Kansas.
Yeah, well, hang on to it till you get here. I've done,
Exactly.
I've done that for a few people. So have you, actually.
Yeah, so we got... I don't know, you want to... We got people popping up over here. That's it. The numbers just rising. Everybody tuning in. Let's see.
Everybody's tuning in late.
Tuning in late. You missed Chris Webber if you're just now tuning in. But he great punk, you know. I mean, like I said, I'm a huge G.G. Allin fan, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, but everybody who doesn't know G.G. Allin, and I try to tell them, they look at me like, what the hell is wrong with you?
G.G. Allin and the Murder Junkies, man.
And I mean, I don't condone everything or most of the things he does, really, but it's just his attitude, you know, I'm going to do what I want to do. Screw you.
He's going to put on a show. You may not like that show, but he's definitely going to leave you with a response.
But I certainly get a lot that.
And Chris is that way too.
Yeah, I get. That's what I say. I get. You know, he said the black flag was kind of what inspired that last album.
Well, it's funny when you see him. He's wearing this country like Johnny Cash type shirt, and then he's got on all this jewelry, like Native American type jewelry and stuff like that. And then you get up there, and he's just like, you've heard his stuff, and you're just like, wow, nothing like I expected.
Yeah.
So he's kind of a country punk.
Yeah, I like the solo. Well, I mean, it's not solo because it's still got music, but the acoustic in him. I mean, that what was it? Right. Lost, Lonely, and Weak was. I mean, that one's.
Yeah, we got so busy, I didn't even present these albums. Well, so I'll just do it next week.
Okay, that'll work. Like I said, we ain't got no time restrictions, Kevin. We do what we want.
Okay.
We do what we want. It's my body. So, like I said, well, we'll hop off here. One last glance. Like I said, Prince will be available.
So who all jumped on? So Nicholas did jump on. Thanks for coming on, Nicholas, man. That was cool.
What did he say there? Write your ass off in downtime.
Yeah, we woke him up, and he was definitely hurting. I mean, he just got done recording and dropping that album, and he hadn't slept, he said, in like a couple of days.
Yeah. And first day off.
Right. Well, when he tours freaking hard, though. I mean, he'll set up like 10 shows, but if he's got a day off in between, he's going to set up a show on the trip there. You may see him at like a freaking country mart in the middle of freaking nowhere for all he cares. He's done that. And it's just like, wow, man. Just wow. He's done a lot of stuff. And we always have good conversations when he's here because he's fascinated the fact because he used to work with homeless in Nebraska. And so he's always asking me how stuff are going with that. So
like I said, it's I mean, just talking with him last week on Messenger and just now, you know, I mean, you can't judge a book by its
He's
cover.
definitely had more impact on you and I because we love that kind of music to begin with. That's
I instantly fell in love. I mean, I love the dark, sad, you know, I mean, that is my go-to when it, you know, doesn't matter if I'm in a good mood, bad mood.
And the new band I'm trying to start up, we're going to be doing, I told him flat out, I don't care what songs we do. And I'm writing some of my own stuff too. And with the guitar player. And I said, hey, we are doing Revolution, motherfucker. And they don't care either. We're just wanting to have fun and just make a bunch of noise and be as punk as we possibly can be.
Well, all right, guys. Like I said, you can find Kevin and I on our social medias. This broadcast is going to be on Talking Beards Network, my YouTube page, and on the Room Green Productions page. And Kevin's on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Me and Kevin are both kind of new to the TikTok, so
I actually got to where I talk a little bit now.
Yeah, we're figuring it out. We're old bucks, you know, but we're figuring it out. That's for sure.
Yeah, right now I'm painting a guitar for I forget the name of the band. Something Atlantis.
I'm trying to get
Wichita, and so I'm just right now just laying down the bases to it. It's a guitar that's not going to be played, so I can kind of mess it up some.
Like I said, after the guests we were talking about that I haven't heard back from, I put out. Said on Big Sexy Show last night. I don't know if you've seen the Nick Harrison, the guy doing the Korn alphabet. Yeah, he's on the TikTok and he done blew up. I mean, he's a comedian, a teacher, and but he's one of Big Sexy's friends with Ghost, and he's one of Big Sexy's brand new made men. So he's gonna have his own scent coming out on Big Sexy. So I hit him up real quick to see if we try to get him on there, and I haven't gotten that response.
Watching, if you know anybody entertainment wise, it doesn't matter. Artists, leave it at that.
Yep.
Writers, physical art, music, acting, costume design. We don't care.
No digital artists or no speed artists because those guys suck. And no people that do shows on Sundays. Because those guys really suck.
Oh, we're not going to interview ourselves anyway.
Kevin, how are you doing today? We'll just start interviewing ourselves.
I do have I just finished a show with Mulberry. They did their show. It ended Friday.
They got the new location.
And
right?
I did another piece of speed art, and Sedgwick County Communications actually filmed me doing it.
Yeah.
And they're going to do a COVID documentary. I don't know what exactly it's going to be, but some kind of thing. The whole COVID and everything shutting down started in April. And so it's more of how people have survived through the COVID.
And there will be no time lapse this week because some jackass forgot to hit the record button.
Whoops.
Oops.
Gosh, one of my favorite pieces, man.
Yeah, I know. We're going to get the time lapse.
Well, now you see it. We'll get it done here probably in the next hour. And then we'll post it when it's done. Again, you know, if you've seen any artwork from the past that you like or anything that you do like, you know, get on the site, throw on a price. The worst we're going to say, you know, be fair about it because I can tell you now, these big pieces cost a bit. Well, maybe you can just film it from here.
No, I mean,
he gets married and his brain just goes poo.
We're back to square one, first one. So 1 and 11 are time lapses do not exist. Use your imagination. Oh well, no, we're just gonna call it good. Thanks, guys.
That was all like, are you recording it? I didn't even think it.
Yeah, it was a fun piece, and we're gonna finish it up, and we'll post it up here, at least the final product of it, and what makes for a short night for us after this. So, but you guys have a good night. Check out everything and continue to share. Yeah, we'll do our sponsors again.
Sharon is
Sharon is Karen.
Sharon is Karen.
And I did actually find a movie where her name was Karen in the movie, but y'all wouldn't get it. So this is the one that you get stuck with.
You know, she's mad about that whole thing because they said the panties showed, so they made her take it off. And I guess if they would have done the original thing, yeah, it would have been rated like XXX or something. But back, you got to remember when it was filmed.
Yeah.
Because nowadays they let it all hang out.
Yeah.
So,
and again, thanks for Talking Beards. Got all the great shows on there. Our sponsors, Big Sexy, Saturday nights, and that's not the right one. That's
the Big Sexy's on there.
Yeah.
There's
Big Sexy Beard Band and Roscoe's hot sauce.
Hey, they're looking for a drummer if they haven't found one yet.
Yep. Hit up
The over, excuse me, not the over. They're not over. They're the over. They're over.
They're over. They're not over.
Yeah,
it's over.
Curious to see how it comes out now.
Yeah,
I think he's got more energy now, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I still got to do the McBee.
Yeah, the shuffle, B shuffle. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.